Good morning, it's RPGaDay2023, day 22, and man, doing these prompts really shows me how fast time passes. I can't believe we're almost over. Today's question, question 22, is the best second-hand RPG that I've purchased. And a lot of my collection is second-hand. I've bought them a lot on the great garage sale that is eBay. I've bought used in thrift stores a couple times, actually more than that. In the beginning, a lot of my collection is bought from used bookstores. But I think the one that I have the best memories for shopping secondhand is back when I was getting my own books. I bought the basic game for 3.5 D&D. I bought that new. And the great thing about that starter kit is it came with a player's handbook. It was a paperback version, or not paperback, but it was not hardbound. And that's what I used for a long time. But as I started to play more, I got really tired of fighting over the book. Because the only one that we had to share was the little basic game manual and then the player's handbook that came with it. So I got another player's handbook, and then eventually I got a third from, I think I got it from Half Price Books. And I've always enjoyed whenever we would go to the store, just kind of perusing the RPG shelf, seeing what they had, looking at other games, sometimes, mostly just for the pictures, because I wasn't really into other genres at that time. But definitely I think D&D 3.5 would be my actual answer for this. Despite a lot of my other books I'm getting are from eBay or other online used sources, just because it's more affordable. I showed earlier on my my Moria book from Middle-earth Role-Playing, MERP. That's a used book that, it's out of print, and a lot of my Ubiquity books I bought used. I know all of the supplements for Hollow Earth, the Secrets of the Surface World, Mysteries of the Hollow Earth. I even think my my basic Hollow Earth book is used, and so those are definitely close seconds, because those are the ones that I use a lot. I'm pretty sure I bought Quantum Black new. And then, of course, there's a lot of games that I've bought new as well. It's not that I only shop used, but a lot of the times when I'm adding an RPG, especially one that I don't think I'm going to play, like I already talked about, like Ars Magica that I just bought, and a couple other games, those are used because I probably won't get a chance to play them, but they're great for adding to my shelf and reading and stuff like that. So, for the question, the best secondhand purchase, I have the best memories of shopping for D&D 3.5 books. There's a lot of books in the 3.5 era. So if you go to a used store and there's a shelf full of them, there's psionics books, there's supplements of all kinds. I'm pretty sure there's arms and equipments guides, which I find pretty lacking in 5th edition D&D. In 3.5, there's so much flavor you could have with what weapon systems you equipped your characters with. 3.5 was just really a fun game, and I think that it does extend to Pathfinder as well. But yeah, definitely shopping my 3.5 books.
Good morning, it's RPGaDay2023, and I am very far behind, but we're catching up with Day 23, which is the coolest looking RPG product or book. Last year I went with Hollow Earth Expedition. There's a couple books that I really, really like from that. But because I did it last year, I'm going to go with a different book series, and that's going to be the book Spire, and then the supplement book, which I have now, Sin. And these are both in the same setting, and the reason that I really like this is probably similar to why some people like Morkborg, because it's just so wacky. The art in this is just really, I like the style. It's very vague and sharp. I really like the artwork in this book. Just gonna random pages with art. there's a third book from this setting that I want to get called Heart, and it's almost like a dungeon delve beneath the city of Spire. And the whole book is about, it's very weird. Like the classes are nothing like say D&D. There's nothing similar about it at all. It uses a D10 system, I believe, and it's just very interesting. It's the elf overlords have kind of like enslaved the dark elves, the drow, and there's all kinds of just weird classes you can play. So these books by Rowan Cook and Deckard Games, I believe, they're just really, really cool. I want to get the third book, Heart, The City Beneath, Spire, The City Must Fall, and Spire, or Sin, the Spire source book. So those three. Hello, welcome back to RPG Day 2023, Day 24, catching up complex/simple RPG you play. Um, Everybody knows I'm going to probably say Mecha Hack is like the most simple game based off of the Black Hack. Mecha Hack is just really easy to learn, really easy to play, really easy to GM for. So of course that would be the answer for that question. But since I probably said that last year as well, I'll throw this one in. Hollow Earth Expedition. This is actually very, very simple to learn as well. If you read through the first character creation section in the book, there's 9 steps, and it's actually really easy to learn how to do this. So I'd say simple, also Hollow Earth Expedition. And then a third runner-up, which I don't play, so I don't know if it technically counts for an answer, but the Mothership game is very simple. This is the entire rules on how to do everything you need. One page on the back. And it's got a really awesome flow chart. So I really like the idea of Mothership, and I love the supplements for it. All of the, you know what I should have said for my favorite adventure? I should have put Gradient Descent, because this is a really cool supplement. And there's Dead Planet, and the second most killer name I've ever seen in RPG, A Pound of Flesh. That is runner-up to an RPG I backed on Kickstarter, which is You're in Space and Everything's Fucked. That's got to be the most intense RPG name. This second place to that. So, one thing I was going to say actually about the difference between complex and simple RPGs, I didn't really throw out any complex ones because I feel like the games that I play are not terribly complex. I could say the most challenging one that I've played before was probably Pathfinder First Edition or D&D 3.5. They're very similar, but I mean, there's a lot of rules that are going on, but I can pick it up, and I think it doesn't make it a bad game. Like if I were to pull out my old 3.5 player's handbook and go through this, it's complex, but it's really good. I love it. Pathfinder, I'm not as familiar with, but the complexity of a system is not bad. Like I feel like I'm just pulling out all the RPGs because this is RPG a Day. We talk about RPGs. I could pull out Cyberpunk Red, and for me, this looks like a really fun system. I have not really played it yet, but it seems very complex because I don't know the system yet. As soon as I get, a couple sessions under my belt, I'm sure it'll just kind of smooth right in. And right now it feels complex, but once you get playing it, it becomes easier. So I think the reason I like the simple systems better is because they are easier to pick up and play, and they take a little bit less time to learn. But that doesn't mean the complex games are bad. I think the first couple times you play a new game, and it feels complex and you're learning all the rules. The focus is more about learning than really experiencing the game, and so it can feel slower and it can feel not less engaging, but it can detract a little bit from about that game experience. And when you're limited on time and all you can do is, sit down with your friends once or every once or twice a month, or hopefully more, um, trying to learn rules is not my ideal way to do things. So I like playing games that I know enough to where it feels simple to me. I can just kind of run through it. But that's not to say that a cyberpunk game or a Pathfinder game or, gosh, what else? Starfinder, Call of Cthulhu, Traveler, like all these other games that, I've got that kind of feel complex. I wouldn't enjoy them. That's not to say that at all. I would enjoy them, I'm sure. It's just getting the learning curve out of the way for these complex games. And if I ever get the big black box cube game, that'll probably be the most complex, I'm sure. But anyways, cheers. All right, RPG Day 2023. It's day 25, yesterday's day, and it's the unplayed RPG that I own. I have many, but I'm going to pick one that I don't think anyone will see coming, and that's a Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game. Yes, Game of Thrones. I picked this up super cheap somewhere. I don't know if it was eBay or where, but it's just really caught my attention, the cover. And of course, I know Game of Thrones. I've read part of the first book, A Song of Ice and Fire, and I've seen maybe half the show. So yeah, it's a very interesting game world to play in, and I can see the appeal of running a role-playing game, especially in the peak of the show when everybody I knew was talking about Game of Thrones. Well, at this point, 10 years ago? I don't know how long it's been, but it is a very interesting game world to play in. And so in this game, it's a D6 system, so you roll anywhere from 1 to 10 d6 for your resolution. You have your ability plus skill, I think, and you just might roll 4 or 5 dice, add them all together, and see if you beat the target number the game master sets. And instead of classes, they have archetypes, so you can play an anointed knight, you could play a godsworn in air, you can play a hedge knight or a meister. I'm trying to show the book, it's not working. Noble, retainer, scout, squire. And then you go through, you choose your house. There's a lot of information on the different houses. You get background features, you get abilities, which are, what are they called? They're like benefits, and then you have drawbacks, specialties, qualities, like all these different things build your character, and then you go do stuff. They've got a lot of this has to do with houses, as you can imagine with Game of Thrones. But really, this book has really beautiful artwork, which is one of my favorite things about RPGs is the art. So, would I play this? No, I'm not that big of a fan of Game of Thrones. I would never, I would steal from this to use for other games. This will probably remain an unplayed RPG for quite a while. It reminds me of another game that I have in PDF format. It's a 5e game, which I really want to get the book for, but it never kind of released. And that's by, it's called Iskloft, and it's a Viking setting using the 5th edition rules. And I think that kind of scratches the same itch this would. So I have the PDF for it, but I like physical books. That is by one of the, I don't think he's in Absolutely Tabletop group, but he's one of like the people on that Facebook, and he's a cool guy. But yeah, the Song of Ice and Fire for day 25. Hello, it's day 26 of RPG Day 2023. Favorite character sheet. And boy, was this a blast from the past. I was getting out an old folder with all my old, really old character sheets because I was looking for one. And I'm wearing a Star Fox shirt, right? When I was like 14, or maybe it's 15, I made this character sheet for Star Fox so I could use one of either, I don't know, one of, probably not D&D, it was probably the Star Wars role-playing game. Um, yeah, this one here, the revised edition for the Wizards RPG for Star Wars. I probably was, yeah, like 15, and I just made this so that I could play a Star Fox role-playing game because I was really into it at that time. That never happened, but I opened my book and there's a character sheet that I made. Um, I think my favorite character sheets have been they're physical character sheets. I've played a lot of online games, but there's nothing quite like pulling out Girth's old 3.5 character sheet, highlighted green on the top to separate it from my other character Dimdorf, and have all my handwritten combat hit points, notes, all of his gear, because in 3.5 everything is much more detailed. So I had a masterwork elven dagger, I had a sling and a light crossbow. This is when he was a rogue. Girth wasn't a wizard in 3.5. All the experience points tallied up and crossed off. Look at that. I don't think it's going to focus, but all of these numbers building up to his becoming level 5 with over hitting, I think, 10,000 experience is probably level 5, and he's got up to 11,235 when you counted experience points. He had an explorer's outfit, a traveler's outfit, a backpack, belt pouch. He has potions of Bull's strength, a holy water, a light healing potion, oil flask, acid flask, a lute masterwork because he's a musician back then. All these things. He has a riding dog named Tank. I don't even remember that. It was a gift from Lorraine, Becca's character, her ranger. So, because she had a horse and Girth was too slow. So she got him a dog that he could ride named Tank. God, this is fun. As a rogue, I don't think this picks up very well on the camera. All of these colored in boxes means that they're class skills for him. All of these are skills. And so there's like, I don't know, like what, 30 or 40 skills, and there's like 8 or 10 of them that are not class skills as a rogue. So really, they're the skill monkey of D&D 3.5. Man, this was such a fun game. We were talking about complex games. If you know the game system, complex can be really, really fun. I actually really do enjoy a gritty system. Like, I think, because no one plays 3.5, I guess Pathfinder really is the next closest. But you can have a really long combat, but it's really fun because there's all these little pieces that kind of go into it, and it's kind of like if you're a board gamer, or if you enjoy playing other games besides role-playing games, and you can sit at a table and play a board game for 2 or 3 hours, complex games can be really fun because they're like that, but you have role-playing with them on top of it, and you get to make your own story. So super fun. I was gonna just show those as examples of why physical character sheets are so much fun, because I've got a folder full of them. I can pull out my old Star Wars ones. I've got Republic Commando sheets that I made a squad, and I controlled them all. I was playing 4 characters, and we were just going through blowing up Confederacy starships and battle droids and super fun stuff. Um, a different perspective of this question, my favorite character sheet is kind of what is a cool look for them. And I think the coolest looking character sheet I have is one I had for my character Donald Bridger from Hollow Earth Expedition, and this is his character sheet. It's a little passport. You can print it out, and has, let's see. So it's got a little map. It's got his picture because he's the guy from Jurassic Park. because that was his avatar. It's got his information on it. It's got character details, his skills, I can't see that. His primary attributes. It's not worth doing this, I don't think. Kind of a how-to tutorial for the Hollow Earth, different conditions, types of damage, combat actions, his talents and resources, family and friends. You get the picture, but this was his physical character sheet, which I didn't keep updated because we were playing online, but Donald Bridger, he had this passport for his character sheet. He had an online version as well, and then he had a journal, which I tried to keep up with to document the campaign, but I wound up falling off of it. It was just, we played for like, what, 2 years with that? It was like 40 sessions, so yeah, like a year, and that was a really fun game. Anyways, enough about character sheets. I am now caught up with RPGaDay 2023, and I can't believe we are almost done. I want to also just mention a couple people that I've really enjoyed seeing their posts and videos for RPG Day within my own group, Matt and Pie Guy. You guys have been really awesome, and I've really enjoyed watching your videos, reading your posts mostly, and then Matt's done a couple of videos. And then for just throughout the month, it's been a really long slog for me, and I've really enjoyed watching on YouTube. Ivan Mike, your RPG Day videos are super fun to watch, and the Riotous GM. Both of you guys have been posting videos pretty much daily, and as I'm driving or have a couple minutes between appointments, it's just been really fun to watch you. As well as the Dungeon Tutor. He does longer videos. They're almost 20 minutes in some cases, which are super fun. They're great to listen to, and just hear people talking about RPGs is really fun. And yeah, I really enjoy RPG Day. Runeslinger also has a podcast. He's doing 3 sessions, 3 different podcasts. So days 1 through 10 is out, days 11 through 20 is out, and then next week he'll finish off with the rest of the month. But he's on, I think, Spotify under Casting Shadows, and there's a lot of other people who are doing RPG Day. I like the video formats the best, stuff I can listen to when I'm working or driving, and just throughout the day, or when I come home and just want to just chill for a little bit, I can throw on someone's video and just hear some people talking about RPGs. It's fun. So thank you all for participating. It's fun for me to do these, but it's even more fun to listen to other people talking about them and answering the questions. So until tomorrow, we'll see you next time.